I would give y'all an intro tonight, and I would be happy, and I would be so joyful to talk to all you people tonight, but it's kind of sad. We had a doozy the past two. It was tough, man. It was tough. But we're going to saddle up tonight, guys. Everybody that's in here, way offside crew, I see you guys. Cat, everybody hit the like and subscribe button. It's going to be a great night, even though it may be a downer to start off with, but we're going to end it on a good note, though. Oh, man. Herb, Daniel Pettey, how y'all boys doing tonight?
I logged in tonight and I was like, if they say there's no show, I'll be okay. It's just, bro, I put in the group chat. I said, hey, man, if we lose to Florida, no show Thursday. And then that was just frustrating. But yeah, happy to be here, if you can't tell.
Daniel Pettey, how you doing, brother?
Man, I'm fabulous. It sucks, but I ain't sweating it. Man, like we came in on a 2-game losing streak 2 weeks ago and then a 2-game winning streak a week ago. It's just life in the SEC right now when you're playing in a 3-week span, 2 1 seeds and a 2 seed in the big tournament. It can get ugly. So, I mean, it is what it is. I'll be honest, though, man. It sucks now. I think we're going to look back in a couple weeks into March and realize it was kind of worth it, because we're not going to face this in the first week of March. We're just not. As long as you're not drawing SEC teams, it's not going to be this difficult the first couple of games in March. So, sucks now. I think it'll be beneficial later.
Yeah, tough schedule right here. And before we get started on that, guys, Herb, let the beautiful people know what they need to be doing to wipe away their tears. Mine right now is soaking wet in the washer because I've been crying nonstop, and it's been just soaking up my tears. Herb, what does the people need to have?
Go to Whitwell Sports, grab your title towel. There's a lot of this going on, but hey, the product's still good. You can still show your support for the team. Great guys over at Whitwell. You got to have one because there's better days ahead. Be prepared. Be prepared to root on your tide. Support these guys. Whitwell Sports. And then, still a little. We're going to be all right. Better days are ahead.
Better days are ahead. We'll talk about that, guys, and I'm going to remind everybody kind of how last year went around this time, too, versus how we have going right now. Daniel Pettey, if somebody has just maybe they're building an outdoor shed, right? They want the outside to look real good, maybe some real natural stone. Where could they find that at?
Hey, man, they can find it at Lamstone Company right here at realrockstone.com. Look, if you're looking to build that dream home and you've seen those homes with that beautiful natural stone, this is your source. Hey, if you're just looking to do some little landscaping in the yard, some flagstone, a patio, this is your source. They can meet all your project needs. Check out Lamstone at realrockstone.com. They're located in Anna, Alabama. They're one of the oldest, most trusted sources in the state. And tell them we sent you by using the promo code TheBamaStandard to receive 10% off your purchase of stone. That's one hell of a deal. So, look, give Lamstone some love after the show, of course, at realrockstone.com. And always, thank you for helping us keep the lights on here at the Bama Standard and going hard in the paint.
Boy, Ephraim said, hey, Joe, say you can't do it. Oh, man.
Hey, Joe, say you can't. Yes, they do. Man, you're in Tuscaloosa, man. That's you put stone anywhere you want in T-Town, baby.
Yeah, baby. But getting the show started, guys. We're going to kick it off with the Rocky flop. That's what we showed up with. Oh, man, that was a horrible ending. Not a bad game, guys.
At all.
Bama actually played really good. Yeah. Tennessee's a really good team, so you can't knock them too much. Really great defensive team as well. Hitting the basket with 3.8 seconds left, man. Man, that's a tough way to go. Pettey, How did you feel about the Rocky flop right there? Alabama falls to Tennessee. Give us a recap, your thoughts and opinions on that, man.
Boy, it stung because it was a game for 39 minutes and 30 seconds. You led. There was no point where,
Right?
I mean, it's one of those where Tennessee kept fighting to stay in it themselves, but every time they would fight, we'd hit a big shot. Really played good ball. And it's a team that defensively and the way they play is kind of a kryptonite to our offense. I mean, we've lost to Barnes 3 straight games, 4 now. So to be on the road in Tennessee, you kept hearing the announcers talk about, man, this place is electric. I mean, it holds 20-something thousand. It was absolutely, a tournament environment. And I thought the team responded, but at the end of the day, you're going to look at the scoreboard and everybody's going to just take away the negative, where I saw a game that it was, again, a Final Four type matchup where you're on the road, everything's against you, and a team that plays absolutely the brand of basketball that messes you up, and you were winning the game up until the last 30 seconds, where you just had 2 absolutely inexcusable offensive sequences, which Nate Oats will tell you the same, but he'll learn from that. It's a learning. Even though you lost, man, you showed you can win that game against a team that's been able to kind of have your number, but then you can also still learn from it from the very last minute on what not to do when you get to tournament time. But it sucks, it stings now, but like I said, when you're playing this type of schedule, crap like that's going to happen, and there's no other way around it. It's a tough pill to swallow right now.
So great way to look at that, Pettey. You're right, leading the game all the way to the very end.
Yeah.
Final 2 possessions, crap in the bed, and it cost you the game. That'll haunt you at night. Herb, I know it's haunted us. We've talked about it, and we'll talk about that Florida one in a minute. But let us know your thoughts on this Rocky flop. Alabama falls to Tennessee. Give us your recap there, bro.
It's sad because Pettey's absolutely right. That was a game that we were. There was never a part in that game until 3.8 seconds left that I thought we were going to lose. I felt the entire time. I mean, we were playing better. We actually had less turnovers than we did. Let's be honest. We had a favorable whistle in that game. There was nothing that was like you're saying, hey, this is stacked. Ziegler gets in foul trouble early, and I just felt like we're playing well. But it's like, and this is dating myself, but I felt like the last 30 seconds, we were in like a choose your own adventure book, and we made the wrong choice at every. I mean, and I hate that it boils down to we're only talking about the last 30 seconds, but that's where the game was lost. You get to the free throw line, you got 2 shots, you make 1, which, okay, that's forgivable. You're up 4, right? When you're up 4 and the other team is coming down and they decide to not go for the 3, you let them go. You either let them get to the basket and take a layup, or you hit them hard. And I never say foul too hard, because in this day and age, we'll do a 10-minute review and come out with a flagrant if you do that. So if he gets all the way to the basket and you're up 4, you let him go. You inbound the ball, you live. But we did everything wrong. You don't box out on a free throw, blatant foul on that one too as well. It's like, what is going on? And you come back and tie. You have 2 timeouts left, and you clearly don't know what play you're running, right? You're trying to get the ball to Sears. You can't get the ball to Sears, call timeout, right? And by the way, Philon, I hate that we're looking at what he did at the end of the game, because he played a great game. Defensively, he was all over the place. He earned his minutes at the end there. But I hate that it's going to be, hey, the drive, tie up, and then you can't get a 5-second call with 2 timeouts. I don't even know if I've ever heard of that being a thing. So no. I actually turned the game off. When we turned it over right there, I turned it off. I had to go watch the highlights of them hitting the last second play, or wait till my phone lit up. So this is a tough way to go.
That last second shot just burned, because I watched it and my mouth dropped. I said, no way. So I turn off my phone. I'm like, no way, dude, no way. About 10 minutes later, Mia's like, hey, do you know Alabama just lost on a last second shot? And she's smiling. I'm like, yeah, I do.
As a matter of fact.
It's not funny. Like, it sucks. Like,
it hurts.
But
I'll be honest, those moments, people are going to think I'm maniacal, but if you've ever watched Game of Thrones, there's a scene where Arya Stark, they're trying she's just trying to get to some part of her family, and every time she gets to a part of her family, they're dying some gruesome death, and they're finally getting to like an aunt, and that aunt has also died, and she just busts out laughing. I'll be honest, when he hit the three, I do laugh, but it's like this. Okay, life, you sports gods are just a bunch of assholes, aren't you? It's more that laughing at because otherwise you would cry.
Yeah, laugh to keep from
Otherwise
crying.
you cry.
So and you're right, Pettey, you're right. It's one of those things where you're like, okay, that's just
what the.
So I wonder how people felt on, when Milroe threw that pass to Jalen Waddle and he called it. That's what I wonder. Back at the end zone, it was not Isaiah Bond. Nobody say that. It was not him.
I always say I was with you. I was not questioning the word you said.
I just knew the comments was about to come in. So before y'all try to correct me, it's not. We don't know who that is.
I used to say Milroe threw it up and caught it himself. So,
it was Waddle, bro. We know Waddle came back for the game. He had a game left of eligibility. It's NIL. You can make stuff up now, right? Yeah, sounds good. Just do it. And boom, that's what happened. So imagine that feeling. That sucked. So, that one, horrible way to lose. But guess what? It was not the NCAA tournament, which is fantastic. Yeah. So,
hey, by the way, real quick to what Kat said, that was really good that Oats did come out and was like, look, I had the worst 30 seconds, coaching that was on me. Like, I can't put those guys in the position. He didn't even just blame the timeouts. He was like, the personnel I put on the floor when they were dribbling up for the three, he was like, that's all me. I got this. So,
I like that.
You got to love Oats, man. And shit, it sucks. You lost, but the man, he didn't. It wasn't well. The player would have not done this or that at that moment. That wouldn't have happened because a lot of coaches will do that crap.
Yep.
Great call, Kat. Agree.
Yep. So that is that's a great way to look at that too, Kat. And I'm glad you caught that and pointed that out because we have a fantastic coach. Chris, when the shots aren't falling, then they got to create better opportunities, like move the defenders off the 3-point line by kicking the ball out. These opponents already are prepared for what we do. I do agree there, Chris, as well. You got to watch it. Obviously, I think Nate Oats is coaching those things, and he's aware of that. It's just one of those things that's got to happen now. Got to see it on the court. Also, I think these guys are about to understand. Obviously, Saturday, it does matter, but doesn't. As far as, being alive for tournament play. I think that SEC tournament is going to start it up, though.
Can I give some life advice to my man, Roger? My daughter wanted me to read her a book when they hit the game winner. I told her to go to bed. See, Roger, that's where you incorporate the wisdom of Major Payne and read her The Little Engine That Could with the note when it gets blown up and the note just kicking version. That way she understands that life sometimes kicks you in the balls and you get a story like that. Just a little life advice, Roger.
So, Raj, one time Alabama started losing in football, and I yelled, and Avery came out of the room and looked at Mommy and was like, Alabama's losing, aren't they? And she said, yes, go back to your room. Understandable, brother. Understandable. It's all in love.
Yeah, Joe, this kind of goes back to, I think my man Herb, before the show we were talking.
He did.
He's a little disappointed. I think there was an expectation that there was going to be a guy to do that, and he really hadn't gotten it done.
Yeah, at least.
I mean, Amore. So we had been talking about it before. So I think in the Tennessee game, I was just really watching him. First off, Nelson goes after more shots. So, he's not the greatest defense because he's out of place, I guess, a lot of times, but at least he's waving at the shots. I don't know that I've seen Cliff block a shot. He's not very physical. It's like he's not very physical on either end. When he goes up for a layup, it's not even a 50-50 proposition anymore. It's like I feel like guys half his size are bodying him or blocking. He's just not as physical. And I think Joe had another comment there. Taller guys are physical.
Which kind of going in line with what you're saying.
I wish Diabate had Amore's size. You somebody with a little dog in a little fight.
I watch him. Yeah, I want to see how it goes in the tournament versus the SEC play. But in SEC play, he looks a step behind.
Yeah.
But when we were playing other teams, it was on par. But I think the SEC is so good this year that if you didn't play in it last year or in the years to come, it is a step up. The SEC is that good this year, and we're going to get into that with the next topic: Alabama versus Florida. We were Gator bait for them. They wanted it more. Out rebounded us by 15 boards. Florida came to play, man. Bama falls short in that one. Just kind of flat. Clayton Jr., he was the guy, 22 points, 8 assists. At one point in time, he was the highest scorer in the NCAA. He got injured for a little bit, came back. He's still one of the best scorers, as you can see, right now in college basketball. And Pettey had an interesting take on the Gators. I'm going to let him give that to you real quick. Pettey, give us that recap on Alabama versus Florida.
Well, I mean, look, everybody's talking Auburn, and it's almost like the Gators have quietly been the best team in the SEC the whole year.
Yeah,
and nobody Tennessee goes down there and they beat them by 30. Then they go on the road and beat Auburn. Then the next you expect them to have a letdown. They go to Starkville, Mississippi. I'm like, well, this is letdown time after winning at Auburn. No, they just win by a clean 15, 20 points. And then going to Tuscaloosa, a place that not many teams go in and win. We don't lose it in Coleman very often. And
not very
to be
often.
honest, guys, we were fighting to keep it a game. I mean, I know we cut it to 5 there at the end, but that's one of those we were just scratching to maybe even have a chance. And Florida, like I said, I guess that's the long way about saying I think Florida may be the best team in college basketball. I know, again, Auburn's gotten all the hype with Broom and Baker Mazzara, and rightfully so. They're really good, whatnot. But, man, this Florida team's
yeah. Trying to figure out how they lost to Georgia in this little last 9-game stretch. The only game they've lost in the last 9 games is at Georgia.
A little hiccup.
Georgia has Asa Martin. They've got a first-round NBA draft pick. I guess any night, one of these South Carolina, Georgia, who has one of these NBA kids, Texas, nobody's paying attention. They got that freshman lighting up. They're slowly beating people left and right that are really good at basketball. It's just, again, it's a testament to the SEC, man. We said it. Right. Guys, we ought to pat ourselves on the back. On this show, we talked about it in the very first episodes before SEC play started. We're going to be there's going to be not gnashing of teeth on certain stretches. And we're sitting here telling you it's coming.
We're coming. Catching the back end of that.
And we're kind of in the middle of one right now, guys. This is just what we expected. The SEC is, I sent y'all that text. The SEC has played 43 quad 3 games, and that's mainly the non-cons, and lost 1. The ACC as a conference has lost 38 quad 3 games. The SEC has lost 1. Yeah, we're going to beat each other the hell up. It just is what it is. And I think, again, man, we can look at this Florida game and dwell on it, or the Tennessee game. And look, man, we may be going into the SEC tournament on a 3-game losing streak. We got to go to Auburn. That's going to be a bitch on senior day. And it don't matter, because when we get to that first weekend in March, we're not going to be facing this SEC gauntlet, man. This is only going to make this team – I keep saying it. The first weekend in March is going to be the easiest weekend this team has had since when did SEC play start? End of January. So in 2 months, this team hasn't faced a week that will be easy as easy as the first weekend of March Madness. And that's just so,
that's well said. Well said.
And that's something to look at, man. That's something to think about as well, because March Madness is right around the bend. SEC tournament starts on Wednesday, and Sunday we'll have a champion. So that'll be very interesting next week. I'll be a very interesting Saturday this weekend, college basketball. Herb, Gator bait for us. Give us a recap, man. How you thought about the Alabama-Florida game?
If I told you that Mark Sears was going to have a 2-game stretch where he scored 54 points and had 2 turnovers, you'd say we won both those games, easily. It's just crazy. And then, hey, we're going to score 94 points at home against Florida. You're like, all right, we're winning that game too. Like, it's – I don't – it's just this team. You kind of just feel like they want this regular season to be over at this point. I think Pettey said it last time when we lost to Auburn and we lost to Missouri after that. It just kind of felt like that at times, that one loss became two. And I don't question their effort, but I do think at times they just were like, I don't know if we have enough punch for this. And then it is Florida. Like you said, they could easily be the best team in the country. So let's not take anything away from them. I don't think we necessarily lost it as much as they came out and wanted. But it's a grind. You're seeing little nagging injuries on the team. I wouldn't be like, I don't know where to say, look, you're going to throw in the towel. But if Auburn goes on any kind of run, like I could kind of see us playing a little bit more bench guys, giving certain guys a little bit of rest. And it's not good. Like, we still got the double bye. Thank you to Ole Miss and Oklahoma for helping us secure the double bye in the SEC tournament. So you do still get to sit out a couple games, but it's not going to be the worst thing in the world to not win the SEC tournament. Still slide in as your 2, no worse than a 3 in the NCAA tournament. And I think that was perfectly put. The NCAA tournament is going to be much easier than at least the first weekend.
Yeah.
We'll say that the first weekend. No disrespect to any teams, but if you're at that spot, and let's say you're 2 and you're playing a 15 and a 7 or a 10, that's got to be easier than anything you've seen.
Yeah, I think we can
SEC.
solidify a 2 seed if we do good in the SEC tournament. I think we'll slide into a 2 seed for sure. And considering our schedule too, not the lightest schedule at all. When you're looking at comparison of who we've played, how good they are too. Right. We've played highs and lows of teams, very good teams. So
the last 3 games of your schedule are 2 number 1 seeds and a 2 seed.
I know. Yeah. Well, I mean, Florida is arguably at one point in time, Bama, Florida, Auburn, and Duke were the 1 seeds. Not like 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago. That was
hell, if Tennessee don't drop the game to Ole Miss last night and they win this weekend and make a run in the tournament, they're looking at a 1 seed.
Yeah. I mean, SEC champs gonna get a 1 seed. I can almost guarantee. Depending, I mean, obviously, like South Carolina.
Unless there's an Arkansas.
Auburn's locked into a 1 no matter what happens.
You think so?
That's one. Yeah, I think. Yeah. I don't think you. They have lost twice as the number 1 ranked team in the country and not dropped from number 1.
So they just lost.
It's body of work.
And then if they lose this Saturday, do you think they could drop out of the number 1 spot?
No.
Well, I mean, they've got like 18 quad 1 wins. It's just absurd. What they've done this year,
body of work.
What they've done this year is more impressive than what Kentucky did the year they went undefeated and lost to Wisconsin in the national title. Their their losses to this point are they lost to Duke, who has Cooper Flagg and the best player in college basketball, and Duke's going to be a 1 seed. And they lost to Florida. They lost on the road to A&M, who, I mean, that's a nasty one. That's probably the worst loss on their resume is a loss to a top 25 ranked team on the road. Right.
After you've already locked up everything, so you can also kind of forgive. There was not a whole lot at stake for them. So, no, I think they're a 1 seed regardless of what happens the rest of the way. They haven't lost the number 1 ranking in the country after losing to Florida or losing to Tate State. I think they're fine.
Yeah.
So, I think they're lost.
I mean, as long as I don't know. Right now, Net's got Bama. Bama's going to be a 2 seed. Yeah. As long as I think you take win 1 up in Nashville, I think you hold on to the 2. We're sitting at what 7, 6, 7, and so yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. Ready to get to March where it gets easy.
I think it's about to get real fun. So that'll be interesting. Put a pin on that right there, or button in that one. Alabama versus Florida. Let them score too many points there, especially scoring 90-something, and we score 90 and lose. Like, come on. At home, come on, boys. Nate Oats, get them right. Got to. Saturday, got to go to Auburn, too, so getting ready for that. Before we get to the Auburn, Herb, what should they have throwing it up around their head like a helicopter, yelling St. Louis?
I'm going to just do the rest of the show like this right here so everybody understands. Got to have your title towel. I always have mine. No matter win or lose, I'm always out there supporting my team. Got to bring your title towel with you. Like, I'm heading to work after this one, and one of them's going with me still, the one that sits in my car for every day. So still cheering them on. Hey, no more tears from this point on. It's nothing but cheering. we're gonna be good for the rest of it. But check out Will Sports, man. Check out those guys. Love those guys. Great product. Support your team.
That boy Herb said he got one in the car. That boy Herb said he's taking one with him on the go.
Yeah, man.
Y'all be like Herb. When I grow up, I'm gonna be like Herb, man.
Oh wow.
Tell y'all right now, when I grow up,
I think I got you by like 30 years though, so you got a while to catch up. Old man Herb,
somebody,
is what they call me.
somebody at work was like, "Yeah, Mr. Johnson." Was like, "You must be like what, like 24?" I was like, "Man, you trying to be my best friend at work, ain't you, man?" I was like, I like little dude right here. What's his name? But yeah, so yeah, fun times, guys. Alabama versus Auburn's coming up, guys. I had a special guest for this. I'm probably gonna get him on next week, but he's a coach from where I'm from. Really cool guy. He won't be on today, guys. Something came up. But we're going to get him on probably next week. He knows a lot. The only bad thing about it is he's an Auburn fan, but he does know basketball. I'll say that.
We'll forgive him.
Yeah, we'll forgive him. We'll forgive him. But Alabama versus Auburn, guys. Can Bama win this and get it? But also, if Bama wins this, what does it really mean right now? Especially we just lost. We're at 7. What does it really mean? Where do you go with this? Pettey, Herb, I'm going to let Herb kick us off on this one. Herb, how do you feel right here? Alabama versus Auburn. There's a lot of ways to shake this. What does it mean if we do win, if we don't, or does it even matter?
I hate to say it doesn't matter because of the rivalry and the important, but nothing changes, with the win or loss. I think Auburn would love to stick it to us at the end of the year, but they're in the same position. Their seating's not going to change. They've locked up whatever they need to lock up. So it's going to be – the atmosphere will be great. They are a rival. But as far as your long-term, you'd almost just rather, hey, let's get out of this game without any injuries, get a little bit more rest before the SEC tournament, and your long-term outlook is still perfectly fine. So I feel like I'm downplaying it a lot, but I can't really see a reason to where – does a win really help you? No, you're still going to the SEC tournament right after this. You feel almost kind of locked into a 2 seed. You don't want to end the year on a 3-game losing streak. So I can give you that. But,
it'd be nice to knock off a number 1 team right here going to SEC play and the tournament in a week and a half away. I think it'd be real nice to go ahead and do that, get some confidence rolling. No matter what happens in the tournament, then I think it'll just feel good to know, like, hey, we did beat them once. It's all right. We there. Pettey, how are you feeling about this right here? Alabama versus Auburn. Not going to say it don't matter like Herb said. It's Alabama versus Auburn. So no matter what, it matters regardless. How are you feeling about this one?
That's the thing. To the fans, it does matter. It's always going to matter anytime you play any sport, anytime that you put that orange and blue on the other side, it matters to the Crimson team. I will go that route. When you kind of said it, I think it would build confidence if you can go win a game on the road at Auburn going into March. It shows, after the Tennessee game, kind of get that nasty taste out of your mouth. Yeah, we can win a big game against the best of the best, even though they got us in their house. But, to Herb's point, in the scheme of the season, it doesn't make or break you. It's not going to kill your season. It's not going to knock you out of the tournament. It may secure a 2. You win it. You pretty much locked up at 2 seed at worst. I guess that you could say that. But no, like I said, to Herb's point, it's not a make or break. You're really wanting to be more healthy 2 weeks from now when you're going in, or 3 weeks from now when the big tournament starts. And it's been such a damn grind the last 2 months that and look, we're just so used to not play. In basketball, this game means more because it's more pride, but now you're playing for bigger pictures. And I get beating Auburn is a big deal and you want to rub it in your coworker's face. But I'll tell you what, Nate Oats,
do it for JT.
Yeah, do it for JT down there.
Hey,
down there.
I'll say this. The only thing they've been able to talk about is that one measly win they've had. I count football too. So I'll take that.
But I promise you, Nate Oats is playing for the big picture, and that's standing on that ladder with some scissors cutting down nets in whatever venue they're playing that Final Four in. So, it'd be great for momentum. It'd be great for the mindset of the team. But then on the flip side, it if you lose this game and you lost 3 going into the SEC tournament, it's not like, well, the team's lost their mojo. We're not going to do it in March. But so, no, I mean, look, it's going to be totally different when that tournament starts.
Yeah. Now, having said all that, though, I'm going to be yelling and screaming on Saturday.
Oh, yeah,
right?
man.
Like,
oh, yeah. Well,
it doesn't matter. Come on, guys.
And trust me, those kids and Nate, when they go in Auburn Arena and all those booger-eating, red-headed gingers are screaming and been camping out since last month to go to this game like a bunch of raging idiots, that fire is going to come on, and we're going to want to kick those booger-eating asses. So, yeah, like that's the deal, and so will our fans. So the game, trust me, when the lights go on, we're going to want to beat that Auburn ass. So y'all go to Jordan-Hare Stadium and try to drum up those Indian spirits, because
they're gonna need them. They're gonna need them. The tide's coming, baby. Tide's coming.
Yeah, the loveliest trailer park on the plains.
Yeah, we're coming, baby, and gonna run right through. Yeah, roll tide as we come through. All right. Okay. But that's gonna be no diddy. No diddy. But it's gonna be a great game, guys. Saturday afternoon. I just hope the right Alabama team shows up for this one. That's the thing. I hope the right Alabama team shows up for this one. We need this win, man. We need this win. This is a tough one. And like I said a minute ago, this would prove like, hey, we can beat them on the road. We can do this. No need to sit back and have a lot of doubt and worry in your head. Well, we're going to pull up the questions, guys, that y'all have had from the show, but make sure that you are liked and subscribed to the channel so you can keep watching, guys. Also, next Thursday's show, SEC Tournament play is going to be going on, so we might be doing some live talking. Game could be on. We don't know. We don't know times. We don't know when yet. We could be live and Alabama could be playing next week. We don't know. So, it could be shows could be interesting next week, guys. That's what I'm saying. Like and subscribe, and be sure to tune in next week and beyond, because the episode's going to be really good here to end out the season. Pop the questions up real quick. We'll go at them. We'll rapid fire them real quick. Chris said, I think Nelson slacks at times and it's sloppy. I agree. I think sometimes it's based off of how many – when he's getting tired, that's how I know he's tired. When I see him getting sloppy, that's how I know, all right, let him get a breather real quick. Also, he's not going to make any shots when he's in that form, too. The lack of oxygen through the body, through the muscles, and you don't see him make a lot of good shots there. He makes his shots normally earlier on or early on when he's in the court because he gets tired, Chris. But I agree with you.
Just make your free throws. That's all I'm going to say.
You guys should be in our group chat when Nelson misses a free throw. That's all I got to say. Everyone you need to pay $5.
He's a bit hurt too, yeah, Chris. I can see that too. I can see him a little banged up. Yeah,
he was on the injury report for the Florida game. Yeah. There was a chance he was.
Herb, hit this one for us.
I mean, I think this year's team is better. We're talented and have a little more depth. But I think with that depth sometimes comes like we still don't know who our number 2 guy is at times. And I'm still in this group chat I was in. They were like, we just don't have a consistent second guy that always steps up. But, like, I like this team better. I think we're kind of living off of last year making the Final Four. But it's like you said earlier, JT, that team wasn't playing well at the end of the year. And I think it's kind of recency bias. This team has been consistently better throughout the rest of the year. The whole SEC has been better this year too as well.
Yeah. So last year, I think we ended up either 3 of 5 or we lost. We only won 2 out of our last 5 or only won 1 of the last 5. I cannot remember exactly. But either way, it's not a good ending to the season. Did not look good. Went to SEC play. Did not do so hot in SEC play. Went to the tournament. Went on a run in the tournament. Right. So that's why I say it's not over with, guys. We still got a chance to play our best ball. We're not playing our best ball right now. You got to be scared of if you were playing your best ball in January and February. That's what you got to be worried about.
Agreed.
I'll tell you, Efron, I'll answer this question when the big tournament in March ends. if we bow out, before the Final Four, I like last year's team better. We make it to the Final Four, and I like this year's team better. So,
no pressure?
They've still got to win my love.
Wow.
Got to win the love, baby. Got to win the love. I mean, most Bama fans will be in that same nature, and so will I.
I think so too.
Pettey. So yeah, last year's team holds a special place. This year's team could do the same thing and possibly more.
Oh, yeah.
Before we
if
go,
they get bounced in the first weekend, no, I don't like these opponents as much as I like last year's team.
They're dead to me.
that one's gonna be that'll be a tough pill to swallow. But before we get going, guys, Daniel Pettey, let the people know where they can find you at, where they can check out your shows, and what you got going on this beautiful channel. Man,
you can find me at on Twitter X at Pettey_Daniel. I'm also on Facebook. Look up Pettey. There's many Daniels out there in the world that look this goofy. And then I'm all over this network. I told the people the other night, I feel like y'all see me now more than my wife. I'm here on Monday nights with my boy Smoke Dixon at 7. Opening kick. Smoke always bringing the noise. We did our top 5 linebacker list last week, and I'm pretty sure he ticked off Reggie Ragland. So we'll have a follow up to that. Tuesday nights, I've got the final whistle. We didn't have any floating heads this week. It was actually really smooth and interesting.
Wow.
I've been. They won't see this.
Wow.
I have actually been called up to the A team as well. Stephen Smith has gotten some moonlighting work, and so they've called me in, and I've been filling at 7:00 on the Bama Standard at 6 Central. So catch me there, and then on this show. You're welcome, Herb. That was
Daniel Pettey moving up in the world, baby. Daniel Pettey
moving on up.
Daniel Pettey is the Stephen A. Smith here. He just signed that new ESPN deal. That's Daniel Pettey here. He just got that new 5-year, $500 million.
I'm telling y'all, man, I tried to send subliminal messages. I did the follow-up with the safeties, and we had Roman Harper and George Teague, and, I swimming in deep waters, but I kept trying to send, Roman them vibes like, hey, that redneck dude, Marty, I can do that. Like, let your boys at SDC know that there's another country sounding dude that can do that stuff.
They'd be lucky to have you. They would be lucky to have you.
100%. 100%, bro. And that would be amazing. That would be, dude, Daniel Pettey. Oh my gosh.
Dude, I'm joking. I'm joking. That was, I told my wife.
No,
we're not.
I will be at every game with a sign that says "I love Daniel Pettey, fangirl," holding up.
I will be Adam Sandler. If I ever make it, I'm bringing up. Y'all all coming with me, man.
I'm fangirling, bro. I'm talking about. Oh my God, it's Daniel Pettey.
I have a non-PC joke for that one. I'll have to tell off the air.
Herb, let the people know where they can find you at, brother.
Herb and Raj podcast. You can go check us out on YouTube. You can check out our live show Tuesday nights, 8 p.m. Or if you check us out after you've checked out the final whistle, like I said, come over, check us out there. Then on the Bama Standard Network, basically anywhere that JT lets me come on and follow him on. So I'm on Talking Bama with him on Sunday nights at 7. And on here, Going Hard in the Paint, 7:30 as well. And then you can check us out on Twitter at Raj_Herb.
Herb is my man. That's why Herb's on the show. Herb is my man. That's my boy right there. So, guys, hope to see y'all at A-Day game. Follow I Am Jay Glaze all social media platforms. Roll Tide Nation on TikTok, guys. Make sure you like and subscribe right here to this channel. You catch me on Thursday nights. The host right here. We only got a couple episodes left. Hopefully, it's another like
a championship
7 or 8, and then our championship recap as well.
Yes.
And then we'll pick back up.
If we're doing that, we'll start. Yeah, if we're making it to those, we're going to have some weekend. Yeah,
we would definitely probably have a bi-weekly show at that point. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see, because that would be something then, and the people would definitely want more. So we'll see. Yeah. We'll see how it goes as well. That's going to be a fun one. Thank you, guys. And what's the pig say on that show, on the cartoon?
That's all, folks?
That's all, folks. Y'all have a good one, guys.
Trying to think that big thing. Don't give a piss about nothing but the tie.